Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Trails Through Daybreak 2 Part 59. In the previous video we fought the priest, which was the one fight, well, at the time was the one fight that I found kind of acceptable in this section, and then we started what might be the second one, because we've already seen this cutscene, so we don't have to watch it again. So we're going to beat up Renne, who is possessed. Well, it's not really, I mean, it is Renne, but she's not really possessed, but it's also not really Renne. It's very simple. I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. As far as like brainwashing, because I mean, it's technically not brainwashing, but effectively it's brainwashing. It is probably the most clever way we've done allied character suddenly has to fight you now. I think it's actually pretty clever. Over here, and it helps that it's a character that we kind of haven't fought. I mean, we've technically fought Renne in the series, but oh, I didn't fucking heal, bruh.
Throw whatever you like at me.
Do you have the one that gives you mana back? How do you check? You do. Okay, so I think I literally just like have you like chill.
Try and make it fun for me.
You'll never get time to raise them cat at your service.
Oh, he actually does something? I noticed he was in the fight, but I didn't really pay attention to whether he had actions or not. I thought he was just kind of standing there. Yeah, right me. Yeah. Here we go. We don't need to buff him. He's perfectly fine. Also, I'll probably get like interrupted here in a second. I saw like maintenance walking around outside, so I may get like a knock on the door in a second. I don't know what they're doing, but it seemed like he was going around to all the places in the apartment. So if we do randomly pause, that's probably the reason. We had Jabberwock?
Now, try and make it fun for me.
I guess we have. I mean, it's good. I don't think you don't have extra mirage damage. One thing I will say, I don't really like the
initializing drop.
The bonus damage for casting certain spells of an alignment with your art, like the art alignment skills that are just like a 50% chance to do extra damage and you cast this type of spell that you're slotted into. It just feels like it's a little too much RNG, and I don't really like the whole like, oh, you're... I mean, this is also part of my reason against bells, is I don't really like the whole like speccing into just one type of magic and only casting that one spell over and over again.
The hell's the matter, huh?
I don't know.
Big fast, take this.
Because I mean, it's not like it's really any different, because you've always wanted to do that, at least ever since bells got added, and I think a Zero was the first one? I don't think Zero had those.
But I can't say the same for them.
A chance.
But it feels like it's even like more of a thing now, because you have to build the character as like, if you're not casting this one element that you have your proc for, it's not nearly as good.
Stop right there. Razor, hurricane.
And if you don't get your proc, then it feels like shit.
There.
Gotcha. Get back. Stay away from her. Forget it. Has come for you.
Hey, that doesn't really make sense you saying that shit. It's okay, Van's fine. That's the thing about my guy Van. He's never been more fine than he is right now.
Initializing drive. Oh yes.
We're not quite gonna kill.
Get cocky, you little shits.
You're getting quite into this, darling.
Now, if we get ult with Van, maybe. maybe take out Renne? How much does Renne have? Can't tell. Does it do buff removal? Has it always done buff removal? I've never read the description for it before.
You're ready.
It might kill Renne, it might not. Just like all things in life.
Sorry, Ren. Get it. Again.
So the one thing is that, you know, the whole
Gotcha.
thing they're going for with Catra being Catra from the side story, apparently, because I wasn't really entirely sure if they were going to commit to that, like it being the same person, which just, I'm like of two minds about it. On one hand, it is kind of neat. On the other hand, it doesn't really make any sense in the story for Renne to have no reaction whatsoever to hearing his name.
Simply beautiful, aren't they?
Because it's not like it's a normal-ish name, like in universe.
Initializing drive.
It's okay. That's the thing about Van is that he won't die.
Far enough.
Like I said, that's the thing you gotta know about a motherfucker like Van is that he won't die. And we probably, I mean, just because he won't die doesn't mean we shouldn't help him out. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Can you ult? You can, I think.
Here goes.
Oh, you do the single target one now.
I'll cut you down to size.
Is maybe better on average, but right here I think I would have rather just done damage to both.
Keep it up.
What was the third
Take your
damage instance there?
Because it's showtime.
Also, this man has an
You've
ult.
been cordially invited.
He just summoned the
to see
fucking
Umbra
demon gate.
Now relax and enjoy the show.
He's gonna hit him with the Diablos.
Catcher, your turn. Oh, such a nasty piece
That's
of
it
work.
for me.
I did it.
Okay.
I can do even better. No! It can't end like this! Did I fail her again?
It's okay, Cross.
Ren? 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 Is that you?
Oh, so that's what's going on. Catra, reset! Get to that terminal now!
Right.
Yeah, do your tech stuff.
Leave it to us.
Oh, I bet I can help too.
No! Stop! If you shut that down, then I can't.
It's pretty lucky there's happen to be 3 terminals right next to each other for our 3 tech characters.
It's okay, really. You don't have to protect me anymore. You've done more than enough, so rest easy. Even if you don't say anything, I can always feel your presence. In my heart. You're the one who sealed away my memories of this place, right? No wonder I couldn't remember it clearly.
Okay, so we're gonna go with that as an out for why she wouldn't have recognized. It feels like a bit. I'll roll with it. But I don't know, the whole. I was kind of vibing with. It is kind of weird to have Renne only now actually showcase any of the multiple personality aspect of her character, which is something that is basically like non-existent from her character aside from the side story. Like there's nothing in any of her other interactions that showcase that she still kind of harbors the personalities. So it is kind of weird to have it pop up all of a sudden and for her to be like kind of like aware of it. Like I was mostly rolling with it because it's like, okay, you're back at presumably where Paradise was and you know, having this strong like emotional reaction to it makes it manifest again, which I kind of buy. I don't know. Something about her like acting like she's always still had them, even though they've never actually there's never been any signs of them like appearing before.
I said something so cruel to you just before I faded away. I told you, this is all your fault. Why didn't you just kill me? But it was the grown-ups. They're the ones who did all those horrible things. It's their fault you suffered more than anyone. That you ended up all alone. And then
It's okay. You didn't hurt me. I've always been grateful to you. It was because of you, because of all of you, that I was able to stay me. And then I met Joshua, Luve, Pottermotter, Estelle, Tita, Van, and Agnes. I've made so many precious friends, and every single one of them
Also, that guy
have
from
helped me become
Thor's.
who I am now.
Can't forget about him.
Ren, I had no idea. So you're happy now?
I am so very happy.
The terminal's down!
That ought to do the trick.
I'm so glad. I guess I don't need to worry about you anymore. Our Ren. Please be happy. Forever and ever.
Thank you, Cross.
Ren!
I'm okay. Just a little tired, that's all.
Definitely like the first major sequence in the Daybreak games where you would be like, what the fuck is going on if you hadn't played the previous games. I mean, I know there was the little like recap of the Star Door, kind of, but I felt like it was too, like they were dancing around the issue too much, that I feel like I would still be kind of lost. I would just be like, okay, something happened to Ren or something. Like, I think because they were trying to dance around the actual subject material too much, that it didn't really come across as like what actually happened to Ren. So I feel like I would still be extremely lost if I had started with like Dave, or even started with like the Cold Steel games and never went back to Sky or something.
Guess she's back.
Does that mean your plan is now at its end? Or are you only just getting started?
No, I just wanted to fuck with the kids. You know, gets me off.
You see right through me as always, Retzi. I guess all that time we spent together wasn't for nothing. This marks the end of our island tour, Arkride. You and your team did a fine job. Splendid, even.
You might gonna be like, yo, what the fuck was with that whole summoning the door to the Devil Lord? That was kind of weird. You gonna talk about that, or?
Just tell me one thing. That cursed virus was your handiwork, wasn't it?
What? Is that true?
Why are you surprised?
Has to be. He did say he built up an immunity after all.
Believe you me, I wish I could take full credit for the creation of that marvelous monstrosity.
Well, they didn't say you created it.
The lingering hatred of those children spiraled and formed the curse all on its own. Well, for the most part, anyway. I did convert it into code, and then I mixed it with the killer virus I'd been cultivating.
Yeah, because that's a thing you can do. Obviously. You just like, yeah, I just took the mystical fucking bad vibes and turned it into a computer program, obviously. And then I mixed it with a virus.
Thanks to a bit of synchronicity, I now
fuck are you
have a
talking about?
bioweapon to play with. I'm sure I'll put it to good use.
Oh, it was just the synchronicity. Oh, yeah, it was just synchronized again. You know, once we establish that the Earth can just fucking manifest a fucking all-powerful AI, that's like our out for everything now.
Chemical weapons weren't enough for you?
You're a monster!
Yeah. Obviously.
But, hey! Don't run away, you damn coward!
We're not gonna let you do your disappearing act this time.
Nope, nobody's ever stopped anybody from teleporting.
Au contraire. That's exactly what you're going to do. The poison gas won't be removed before this evening. Until then, I'll keep you dancing in the palm of my hand.
He's got us right where he wants us.
We'll get him sooner or later. There's only so many holes that traitorous rat can hide in. For now, I think you guys can afford to sit tight for once.
Walter, Retzi, thank you for accompanying me.
Think nothing of it, darling. This was a delightful little stroll. But now we need to resume our pursuits. Take good care of her, you all.
Are you sure you're all right?
I'm fine. I promise. Sorry that I worried you so much. I never wanted you to see those shameful parts of myself. Yet I've subjected you to them twice now.
You have nothing to be embarrassed about. Our scars and wounds are part of what make us who we are. It's clear as day that little boy thought the world of you. You could have ran from that part of yourself, but you didn't. So please, please don't ever call yourself shameful ever again.
Yes. I understand. Thanks for setting me straight.
Yeah, I mean, it is also kind of like super disrespectful to other people who have potentially gone through the same thing. While we were operating the terminal, we were able to completely dispose of the virus. We can now come and go from this place as we please. Music to my ears. This place goes me the hell out, so let's bat. No, not yet. We need to investigate this place further. When you give this place a good hard look, we may come across a clue as to what Harwood is really after. And it's also like, if they're going for the whole Catcher is Catra thing, like, shouldn't Catra have more of a react? Because if we're gonna say, oh, well, Renne didn't know it because her memories are sealed away or some nonsense, because that's a thing that always happens in media. It's like the biggest cop-out story device people can use. Oh, why did a character do shit that didn't make any sense if this thing happened to them? Oh, their memories are sealed. That's why. So I'm not really a big fan of that. It's just like a personal pet peeve when it comes to storytelling. Because, like, I don't know. I just feel like... Because I kind of buy Catra not recognizing that Renne is Renne, right? Because honestly, we don't even necessarily know that Catra even had much of a connection to Renne. It's just that Renne latched on to the Catra character for like one of her personalities, right? So it's entirely possible that Catra might not even really remember Renne at first, but like by this point, especially like mentioning like Cross and everything, like you think there'd be like something where Catra ... dots ominously. Do you want to do this after all you've been through? Details of your past will almost certainly come up. And we want to dredge up old memories. You said as if they hadn't already resurfaced. Trust me, I'm past all that. Actually, that may not be entirely true. I think deep down it still terrifies me. But I'll have to muster up the courage to brave those fears. Not just for me, but for all my friends and family abroad and for Cross and the others. Mrs. Bright. You're one tough cookie. Alright, but if it gets to be too much, let us know. Alright. It's the worst speculation? What the fuck, man? Can't just say that about everything I say. Oh, it's terrible speculation. You believe this dude said this is what was gonna happen in the plot? Fuck this guy. Alright, game. I'm on to you. Van's group set about inspecting the terminals. Despite having some inkling as to what they might find, the truth still shook them to their core. Legasp. Just like we thought. The DG cult. A cult of religious fanatics engaged in devil worship that committed numerous atrocities across the continent. Places were one of many of their research facilities. Before their destruction 12 years ago, more than 70% of this island housed their massive lodges. I was held in one of them. Its name was Paradise. So sorry. That name exists in Marduk's database. It was said to be the most ruthless of the cult's lodges. Children from all Zemuri were kidnapped and brought there as test subjects, wherein they fell prey to all manner of abuse. All manner of abuse. You want to elaborate? No. Nope. The location data for these lodges were omitted, however, so the fact that they were once here is unbeknownst to me. I mean, so they're saying there was like a bunch on the island, which doesn't really, because I'm pretty sure didn't they say they were like, I mean, I guess I don't know. Because I feel like they've stated that there was like, you know, X number of lodges and they were all across the continent. So like having a bunch on one little island seems kind of unlikely. Like it seems like kind of silly if like the whole purpose is to like, you know, they're meant to be super discreet. And I kind of got I don't know, I feel like I remember them saying like the actual number of lodges and like it was like, you know, like them low tens. I could be, you know, just making that shit up. I guess that explains so much of this island was off limits. The abandoned village of mines must have been theirs too. Anyway, I'm sorry. Those sick bastards. Heard rumors, but I don't know all the details. Van just outright fucking says he didn't play the previous games. Like he just, oh my god, he admitted. Guessing that's how your other personality came about. Yes, Cross is one of the several children who endured the same kind of abuse I did. All those other children didn't make it, so I absorbed their personalities into me. Or well, I mean, you just think they didn't make it. I could protect what was left of myself. Cross is my final stronghold, the knight who would always protect me no matter what. Unless it's actually Catra is not Catra and Catra absorbed Catra to become Catra. I would be a little annoyed if they just did the same thing they did with Renne with Catra, but it would be kind of, I don't know. You absorb their personalities? I didn't know you could do that. Fairy backs away slowly. It was a side effect of a special drug made with that herb over there. It's called paloma grass. Eventually, all this culminated in the experiments conducted in Crossbell. Although the ones they carried out here weren't exactly in line with the cult's normal doctrine. They must have got the idea of transplanting personalities when it happened with Renne. Okay, so they're actually making it was like a real fucking physiological phenomenon. Not just like a, you know, psychological thing. Which, I don't know if you really needed to explain this part, like, with, like, hard rules. Bromograss causes reactions in the human psyche. Are they trying to artificially induce multiple personalities? Like, I don't know, but I feel like it works better as just the, like, hey, here's an example of, like, the way the abuse, like, messed with their psyche. Like, having the psyche damage be part of the experiments, like, I don't know. For some reason, that just feels like it undercuts it a little bit to me. But I don't really know why. Like, I guess it makes it less realistic by being like, oh, it was because of the magic juice. That's why it happened. Not just like, hey, it was a natural reaction to immense trauma. The evidence of the cult's insanity continues to mount. But I guess that also makes the idea of the personality completely taken over earlier seem more legitimate if it is a magic phenomenon and not just, you know, a normal part of the human psyche. Yeah, but the deranged shit this lodge pulled off was off the charts even compared to the others. You gonna elaborate? No. Like they were trying to play God, or well, I guess play devil might be more accurate in their case. Only conclusion that makes sense, and I think back on everything they've done. When we arrived here, the polymographs began resonating with Cross, who I'd buried deep within my psyche, and then I relapsed. Who would have thought that after all this time, we'd found out the cult was using this kind of technology? I mean, they made a person. There is likely much we've yet to uncover about them. During their purge operations, their subjugation... Well, actually, that's not true, because it wasn't the cult that made Kia, it was fucking the other people. During the purge operations, their subjugation was given priority over search and seizure. It was how big of a threat they were. Unfortunately, that opened the door for Almada and the Garden to pick up where they left off. Okay, we found all these files, but what did Harwood expect us to do with all this? The only thing we learned is that the cult was on the island, which we already knew. At least I did. There's no way he didn't already know that. Well, we've learned that whatever he's planning involves me somehow. Yeah, that doesn't explain why he needs the rest of us here.
Hey, what's wrong?
Catra... dots.
Are you okay?
I was wondering, like, how long we were gonna keep ignoring Catra.
You're burning up.
I'm fine. Really, this is... nothing.
Because, like, I mean, that's, like, clearly been... As soon as they started hinting at the DG cult having happened here, right? Like, we've been building up to, like, hey, we're gonna talk about Catra.
Bull, we're taking you back to the villa right now.
So I guess we're maybe finally gonna talk about Catra.
We should call Esmerite too.
Van's group went back to the villa and carried Catra up to one of the rooms. Before long, night began to fall and the other guests gradually returned to the villa as well. And then the poison killed them all. The end. This put Van and his assistants on guard, but no one seemed interested in pursuing them any longer. They surmised the guild had spread word about the poison gas emitters, and negotiated with the various groups that designate responsibility for finding the devices. Just before sundown, all of them had been reviewed. Well, how do you know it's all of them? The misunderstanding surrounding Van and Harwood cleared up. The other groups concentrated their efforts on tracking down the Oathbreaker. Now that the threat of assault from all sides is subdued, Van's group could enjoy a nice quiet dinner in peace. After that, they decided to discuss their next move in light of Catra's sudden illness. Back in Elaine and Zen's dead I go. We really owe them. I'm amazed they were able to successfully negotiate with all those different groups. Not pictured on screen, Elaine and... Well, see, I was gonna say Elaine and Zen calling everyone fucking idiots, but they started the idiot train, so they're not off the hook, never mind. Never underestimate the miracle weaving abilities of high-ranking bracers. I wouldn't have minded a scene where Zen calls everyone fucking stupid for trying to fight Van. If they didn't make him fight us, that could have been cathartic. I think you can all finally take it easy now. I suppose so, although I'm still concerned for Mr. Silesian. Under normal circumstances, I would diagnose it as fatigue brought on by extreme duress. Yeah, I don't buy that for a second. Me neither. He hasn't been himself ever since he came to the island. Right, he was spacing out left and right. I'll admit, I didn't really think much of it at first. We were all thrown off balance that stupid tour. I got a question for you, Van. Oh, and you too, super schoolgirl. Hate to be blunt, I get this is a delicate subject, but I gotta know. Is he just like you guys? Huh? Wait, are you suggesting... ... Is this about what Catra said back at Genesis Tower? I don't remember what he said, but I feel like it's been pretty known.
You went through all that too?
Okay, yeah. I do remember them kind of like basically saying that Catra had been through a lodge, but like it wasn't... I couldn't remember like how blatant it was, so it was pretty blatant.
Sorry for not coming clean about this sooner, Catra. You ain't like me, though. You picked yourself back up and started a new life. You've even got a family, and a nice one at that.
one of the few flashbacks that are like, oh yeah, I actually needed that. I wouldn't say he's just like us. We all went through different things. Not that I ever check with him about it, of course. It's just my gut feeling. He never brought it up again after that one time. Believe it or not, there was a catcher alongside Cross and I in that lodge. They're definitely not the same person. Of that much I'm certain. Okay. What makes you so certain? Sorry I keep bringing this stuff up. Now, I don't know if that's like a misdirect for the misdirect. Because Renne just thinking Catcher is dead, I mean, obviously makes sense, but, I mean, there's no... It wouldn't be illogical for it to be that Catra disappeared because they were transferred to a different lodge and then had some other shit done to them. And like, I don't know, the Catcher in the flashback or like the side story is so young that you can't really make any, like, whether or not they look similar. And I mean, they do. I mean, the art, I mean, it's just like a vague silhouette, but they look similar-ish. And the ages also add up, but I guess it could be that they implanted... I mean, it'd be really dumb if it's just, oh yeah, they happen to have the same name. That would kind of piss me off. Like, you do this whole, like, oh, we're doing this deep cut by having them have the same name and the same backstory, but then be actually their different person. But the other, I guess, example is that they took Catra's personality and implanted it onto someone else, and then they became Catra again. So that Catra is not Catra, but Catra is Catra. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry I keep bringing this stuff up. No need to apologize. I don't mind answering questions about when this situation calls for it. One thing I do know is he's got to have some connection to this island. We can ask him about it when he wakes up.
Van, everyone!
Because one thing I do remember is that Catra, in the side story, is like the youngest one. So I'm pretty sure like the ages would add up with him being like around 16. I'm pretty sure he's like supposed to be like a really young kid. In the side story.
Nothing detected within this vicinity. He does not appear to be here either.
Oh no!
Miss Archette? Are you still out of breath? Something wrong?
It's Catra! He's gone missing!
Robo Sniff. I went to get him a change of towels and some water, and when I got back, he was gone. But how? We're all downstairs. It's not like he could have jumped all the way down from the 3rd floor. You don't think he was kidnapped, do you? I don't think so. Catra woke up and immediately turned Fio and Zeros off. He also turned off his interleak, so Fio is unable to track his location. He turned you off? Why would he do that? So that he could get away? Maybe he didn't want to be followed for some reason? Maybe related to what we were discussing a moment ago. Yeah, I bet you're right. But hurry and find him before he does something he might regret. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to tag along as well. I'm already involved at this point. I'm not about to turn away. Not now. This is almost certainly Harwood's doing. I'd like to have a hand in stopping it. Thank you, Renne. I feel better having you with us. That's good, because you can replace Catra. No, Catra, did you take all my shit? Theo and Zeros will accompany you as well. Robo Wolf. Yeah, we can use every hand and paw we can get. Alright, let's go get our kiddo back. Might take us a while to track him down, though. Yeah, there's a lot of ground to cover outside, but he can't have gone too far. Now let's search the resort and the area around it. I'll ask the staff and other guests if they've seen him. Please do whatever you can find, or please do whatever you can to find him.
Someone's calling to me. I can hear them.
Catra, there's a demon in the mines! Catra! Galvalon, he's gonna possess you!
I have to go to them. That's my
Why, hello there, my friend. I've been waiting for you.
You're...
You're finally awake. Very good. The truth should now be staring you in the face. You understand that you're not exactly a normal kid, yes? We are now entering the climax of my grand theatrical crime, of which you will be taking center stage. The spotlight is all yours, so dazzle us with a performance for the ages.
Catra, where could he have gone?
I think it's safe to assume the Oathbreaker has something to do with his sudden disappearance.
Probably
I'm
worth checking
intrigued.
out any of the suspicious places we already visited.
Because, I don't know. I mean, I guess, like, the obvious conclusion to jump through would be that he's, like, you know, got, like, a demon in him or something like Van or Aaron. Which, I wouldn't like as much because it's, like, I feel like it's got to be something unique, right? If you're having all this build-up. But, I mean, we have established that there's, like, an ominous presence in the island somewhere. Like an evil entity. So I guess Catra's, like, related to that somehow. Like, either maybe supposed to be a vessel for him, or Catra has, like, a piece of the evil entity in him. But, like, wouldn't that just make him, like, Van? And that's not that interesting? But I guess there is still the question of, like, what the hell Harwood wants to do with it all. I mean, I guess, like, releasing the entity? But, like, why would he want to do that? I don't know. I mean, other than just, like, because he's a bad dude. But I'm actually a little intrigued on the plot right now. Now that we got past the extremely dumb section of like, hey, what if everyone wanted to fight Van? For no fucking reason at all. And overall, one thing I think one of the criticisms of this is that like, it does feel really out of place in the story, since this is just like, it seems like its own self-contained story beat, this whole chapter. So we're not really like advancing the main plot in the slightest. Like it feels like a side story. Which is something that somebody, made the like comparison to. Like this almost feels like a DLC adventure or something, which I completely agree with. This whole section feels like it could be like was added in as like a post-game update of like, hey, after beating the main game, Van and crew go on an island vacation, but you won't believe what horrors lurk beneath the surface. You know? That's really what this feels like. And like, I'm mostly down for it, aside from the really stupid parts. So I kind of like that it's a bit of a bait and switch, where you think it's just going to be your standard, like, couple hour intermission where people play beach volleyball or whatever, but like, no, we're actually going to have like a plot and shit for the intermission. So I think that's kind of cool. But it does come at the cost of like, the main story has grinded to a screeching halt, which I guess you could argue isn't that big a deal because the main story is pretty boring, at least so far. But then you could counter argument that maybe it could have been more interesting if we like didn't have this 20-hour section in the middle where we're just doing a different story entirely. But that's just my vibe right now. I mean, maybe it connects more when we actually finish it. But yeah, it's also looking like it's going to be a bit longer because I didn't know if we were actually going to... I thought the Catcher backstory thing would be like less of a deal. Like, I didn't know it was actually going to be like an integral part of Harwood's plan. I just kind of thought it was going to be some detail that pops up as part of Renne's thing. But alright, we're going to go ahead and call it here. A little bit early, but we'll start talking to everybody next time. I thought I saw a side quest. Did I see a side quest? No, we do have a side quest up there. So we definitely got some things to do. I definitely wouldn't have expected a damn side quest, so. I'm an idiot for even beginning to think we might be almost done with the section. But, you know, maybe that was my plan. Maybe I actually wanted it to go on longer, so I said it might be over soon. So then the game's like, ha! We patched in another 5 hours for you, motherfucker. And then I'm like, actually, that's what I wanted. Ha! I win. Alright, I'm XShoes87. Stay tuned for the next part, and bye, guys.